I silently served them coffee. Neil reached for his mug, but I swiftly took it from him.
Huh? What the hell?
He looked puzzled. I dumped the coffee right over his head.
Ah! What are you doing?
Don't worry, it's cooled down.
That's not the point. Stop it.
I poured a generous amount of coffee over him, dodging his reaching hand and placing the mug down.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Acting like this when you're just a maid.
Marla raged, her anger plain to see. Shut up. I'm not your maid or anything else, I retorted fiercely. She tried to stand and yell back, but I cut her off.
What?
She exclaimed. A son's wife is not a maid. If you didn't know, let me tell you.
I am not a maid.
I pressed on, leaving Marla speechless. She opened and closed her mouth, unable to find words. I glanced at her, foaming at the mouth, and leaned in close. Marla let out a shrill cry, but I didn't back down, getting within a few inches of her face. Listen, and listen well. There's no system in this world that says you can use your daughter-in-law however you like. I'm here to protect my family, but I'm not here to be a servant. But I'm your husband's mother. We're family. You should protect me. Listen to my orders. Are you out of your frigging mind? If I were a real maid, I wouldn't be family. Why would a family member take orders from you? I replied calmly, keeping my cool. Marla's face, once pale, was now bright red.
You! What kind of way is that to speak to me?
You speak horribly to me, so I'm talking to you the same way.
Who do you think you are? I'm your mother-in-law. Save it for your dreams,
I said, having reached my limit. I had been patient, incredibly patient, but enough was enough. There's a limit to everything, and Neil and Marla's attitudes finally broke down my patience. And what exactly do you think your granddaughter is? A maid? Treating your own granddaughter like a maid? Enough with this nonsense already. I leaned in closer, and Marla's face turned pale again. Scared, huh? Pathetic. All that arrogance, and she crumbles with just a bit of pushback. I was taken aback by her superficiality. I pulled back, narrowing my eyes in disgust. Marla, now pale, was trembling slightly. Seeing this, I turned my attention to another person. Now, it's your turn.
Yes?
Neil replied in a pitiful voice. I glared at him fiercely. Your wife and daughter are being treated like maids, and what are you doing about it?
I was on my phone.
And then?
Drinking beer.
So you're enjoying your drinks while your wife and daughter are treated like maids? How nice.
Sorry.
Sure you are.
Ah!
Neil let out a pathetic scream as I yelled at him, and then he ran to hide behind Marla. Seriously? I was so disgusted by their pathetic behavior that I decided to get straight to the point and handed him a piece of paper. Just sign this now.
What is this?
Neil peeked out from behind Marla like a puppy peeking out from its mother. As soon as he realized what the document was, his face went completely pale.
The divorce paper? What the hell is this?
We're getting divorced, and I won't be coming back here ever again. Marla and Neil both opened their mouths in shock at my words. I waved the paper in front of them. I've already filled out my part. Just write your part quickly. I'm submitting it to the office after Christmas.
That's a fake document. The office is closed. You couldn't have prepared it.
Too bad for you. Divorce papers can be downloaded from the internet. In fact, they'll accept it if I bring it in today. Neil shook his head, almost in tears, refusing to sign.
No, I don't want a divorce.
You're troubled by the thought of me leaving?
Yes.
Because having me around to do everything for you has been helpful.
Yes.
So having a maid like me around makes life easier for you, and that's why you want to avoid a divorce.
Yes. No, wait, that's not what I meant.
Gotcha.
Ah!
Deja vu. It felt like just moments ago that Neil was screaming at my furious expression. Well, if he won't sign, I might as well get a professional involved. Whether you sign or not, I'm getting a divorce. I've already told my parents. Nora?
Yes, Mom.
Are you ready?
I've packed all my stuff.
Nora peeked out, holding up her bag.
Oh, are you going somewhere?
Neil asked, noticing the luggage. I turned around, holding my own bags. Good question. We're going back to my parents' house.
Hey, don't be stupid.
The only one being and having been stupid is you.
I didn't do anything stupid.
You brought us here to be treated like maids. This is ridiculous. We'll discuss the divorce formally with a lawyer. Goodbye. Having said my piece, I headed for the door with my daughter, Neil following us desperately.
Wait, you can't live without my paycheck.
At his words, I stopped and turned around slowly. Have you forgotten?
What?
I used to out-earn and outrank you. I quit my job because of the pregnancy, but even then I was earning more than you do now. Neil turned pale. Had he forgotten we worked at the same place? Convenient memory. I plan to slowly get back to work with my parents' support. I'll be staying with my parents for a while. I'll start working again, and even if I don't earn as much as before, I'll manage. No, I'll make it work. Neil was almost in tears.
I'm sorry. I'll change. Just please don't divorce me.
You had many chances to change, but you wasted them. It's too late for regrets. With that, I reached for the door. That's when Marla shouted, "Wait!" Until now silent, Marla now looked troubled as I turned back irritably. What now?
What about my dinner? Who cares?
I shouted back, and this time, we really did leave. My daughter and I went straight to my parents' house, where they welcomed us with open smiles. My, what a tough Christmas you've had, my mom said, inviting us inside. Nora's smile returned, a relief spreading over her face. What a Christmas adventure. Hopefully next year will be more peaceful. The discussions with Neil, who kept saying he didn't want a divorce, were difficult, but considering facts like my daughter's refusal to see her father, the divorce was eventually finalized, including a lump sum for child support. I couldn't trust that man. As a result, we sold the condo where we lived, and Neil apparently went back to live with his parents. One day, my ex-husband called to complain, saying,
Mom's not doing anything. Actually, it's gotten worse.
It seems the neighbors had seen me being overworked, and word of our divorce spread quickly through the grapevine typical of rural areas. As a result, my former mother-in-law is now getting cold stares from those neighbors. That makes sense. No matter how rural the setting, calling your daughter-in-law a maid is just not acceptable. It's severely outdated. Because of this, Marla, who started staying indoors more, has become even more irritable, treating her son like a servant. He was venting on the phone about their daily arguments. I wasn't interested in their drama. I planned to tell him that I had confirmed the child support payment and then hang up. You reap what you sow, I said coldly. I could almost visualize him on the verge of tears on the other end.
Come on, can't you help out a little? I'm Nora's dad, and she's her grandma.
To that, I smiled, though he couldn't see it, and said, I just drank it.
What's with the tone?
I am drunk.
Hey.
I cannot.
Hey, I was wrong, okay?
As if I'd help you. I yelled and hung up the phone. I blocked his number right after. Laughter is the best medicine, and I couldn't stop laughing for a while after that. Thank you for listening to my story.